Okay, so on this step, we're going to calculate the amount spent per person using an Excel formula. So I went ahead underneath where I have all the items I was going to buy. I made a list of all the people I was going to buy items for. Okay, I just made a little table, amount per person, the people are listed here, the amounts will be listed there, and this is what we're going to use Excel to figure out for us. So this first time I'm just going to show y'all a simple formula, but we're going to have to make some changes, so just kind of watch and pay attention. So always, to start a formula, I'm going to hit equals. So what I want it to do, I just want it to add the gifts for AJ. So the formula I'm going to use is called SUMIF, right? And once you start your parentheses, you'll see that it prompts you into what you actually want to put here. Okay, so the first thing is the range. So the first thing I need it to look for is all the names, right? Because I just want the gifts for AJ. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to highlight all of the names. Okay, then I'm going to hit a comma. Okay, next is the criteria. So what are we looking for, right? We're looking for the ones that say AJ. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to click right there. Right? So that's AJ, right? That's all I have in that cell. I'm going to hit another comma. So this is the sum range. So pretty much right now we're telling it what do you want to add, right? So I'm going to look over here at the total cost. Now I want it to find the ones that went along with AJ's gifts. I want it to add them. So I'm going to highlight all of these costs, right? I'm going to close my parentheses. I'm going to hit enter. All right, so what that's telling me is I spent about $123 on AJ. Okay, now, so let's look at something. And when we have this selected, if we look up here at the formula, we'll see that B4 to B15, and that was all these names here, right? That's where we wanted it to look for the names. F4 to F15 over here, that's where we wanted it to look for the numbers to add. Now, if I do like we did on these other steps and I use the autofill handle, right, it gives me my numbers, but let's take a look at some. Let's click that one. Okay, so we remember the range for the names was B4 to B15. Now let's look at what happened right here. You see how that says B5 to B16? Well, that's going to be a problem, because Excel always assumes that we want it to keep applying that same rule down, right? And most of the time we do, right? Because like in this formula, you know, we used A19 for the name, and on the second one, I want it to use A20. I want it to use Noah. We see it got that part right, but we don't want it to change these others. So here's what you got to do. Go back to that first formula. Up here in the formula bar, to make Excel lock a range in, here's what you got to do. You got to put a $ before and after the letters, right? So I've put one before and after the B's, and I'm going to put one before and after the F's as well, because I don't want these to change. You're going to leave that the same, because we do want that one to change, right? We want it to keep moving down for Noah, Dad, Mom, all those, but we don't want the rest of those to change. I'm going to hit enter. Nothing should change yet, right? And we're going to take that. We're going to drag it down with that new formula. Nothing changed on this, but I know my formulas are right now, okay? If we were in a bigger data set, you would see stuff change. So now one last problem with this is that doesn't look like money, right? So I'm just going to highlight it all. I'm going to go up here and say that I want this to be currency. Boom. Now we have money, right? So that is finding the amount per person.